All right, three, two, one. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Just Learn Crypto Show. It's Sunday, so thank you, Randy, for taking time. I know you'd probably rather be hanging out with your beautiful wife and your handsome son, but Randy is a crypto marketer. He's been in the space for years. He's someone that I've, taken advice from, looked at what he's been interested in, and thanks for coming on the show, man.
Yeah, no problem, man. No problem. I mean, I love crypto. I love the space. I love the people in the space. It's just it's where I feel comfortable. I don't know what I would do without it.
I hear you, man. I'm in the same boat. We're rowing the same boat up the same river, man. So,
Yeah.
so listen, how did you really quickly? How did you get into crypto? What was your on ramp? What was your entry point into the space?
Well, Bitcoin is where I lost my cherry, right? Like many people out there.
Yeah.
It was back in 2011. Had just moved here to Panama. I live in Panama. I've been here almost 10 years. Uh, One of my business partner who's coming over today, bringing his kids over to go to the pool today.
Nice.
He said to me on our way to work, he said, "Hey, um, we should go and buy some of this Bitcoin." And I said, "Bitcoin? What the hell is Bitcoin?" And that was the first time I ever heard about it. With someone talking about it. I'm sure I had seen images because I come from the gold and silver world. I'm
Okay.
sure I heard people talk about it, especially libertarian anarchist communities that I come from. But I'm not a tech guy, so I never really thought about it. Gold and silver was my thing. I liked physical metal. And he said, "Well, Bitcoin's this new cryptocurrency," and he explained everything to me. He's like, "We should just go out and buy about 3,000 of them." And I said, "Well, how much is that going to cost?" He goes, "Well, they're about $11 each right now." So I
Wow.
said, "Wow." So we could do that. I said, let's take some money from that were coming in and buy some. Well, we put it on the back burner, and within a couple of days we had forgotten about it until one day we saw the price was almost $1,000. We're like, "What the hell just happened, man? Yo, we were just talking about this. How is it now almost $1,000?" So
Wow.
it must have been about a year and a half that went by.
Yeah.
We really regretted it, and I never really looked into it. But then I started to. I started reading. I started learning. I started doing some research. I had already been connected with Trace Mayer from the gold and silver world, so I started watching videos by Trace. Maybe early Andreas Antonopoulos videos. I don't remember, but it's guys like that who really educated me. And so I was kind of broke. We had just lost our my partner said they didn't need me anymore. So I was kind of waffling in Panama. I didn't know what to do.
Hmm.
I was writing, making enough money to pay rent, and we got my wife and I, we got married, and we were living pretty good, but we were just living paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah.
So I really didn't have that extra money to buy any Bitcoin at the time. I think it was right around 600. It was right after the super high,
Hmm.
and I decided to sell my house. So I sold my house in New York, and I took some of my profits and I bought Bitcoin. And it had to be around January, February of 2014. I think Bitcoin was right around $450, and that was my first foray. And I don't know if you know who James Clayton is of Cryptocurrency Investors Club.
No.
Uh, he and I were big on Google Plus. He had the first crypto group on Google Plus,
Oh wow.
and now he has one of the biggest crypto groups on Facebook called Cryptocurrency Investors Club. And James and I became friends, and he told me on a post that, "Hey, you should check out Darkcoin." So I did. I went and I took more than half of my Bitcoin and bought Darkcoin at $7. And I'll never forget this. And then within days, the shit tanked down to $3. I'm like, "No!" I'm like, "James, what'd you do?" And I didn't yell at him or anything, but I was kind of sad. And I put money into Aurora Coin. Aurora Coin, I bought it at $20. That shit tanked all the way down to nothing.
Fuck.
So my first initial Bitcoin got vaporized pretty quick. But such is life, bro. Such
Yeah.
is life.
That's
And
the way.
that was my learning experience.
Yeah, man. Well, I mean, you obviously you skinned your knees, as an early
Sure.
adopter, and a lot of people skinned their knees in 2017 and made out a lot worse, right? So,
Yeah,
2017 was a pretty crazy year. I
dude.
think that was the year that actually me and you met online,
Yep. Yep.
and started chatting. So, 2017, man, like that was just a roller coaster ride. That was, and that was, I got into crypto right at the end of 2016. Um, Similar situation to you, man. I was in between jobs. I was not, I didn't even have a paycheck. I was living in my car, and then I started brokering Bitcoin and built up, my Bitcoin,
I
earning
remember that.
commissions. And yeah, we were chatting at that time, man. And I'm so grateful for where I am in life now. And I tell everyone, like, Bitcoin saved my life. I who knows where I'd be right now if I didn't find something to dedicate my energy and my passion to. So
Absolutely.
2017 was a great year for me, because I'd already, had built up a foundation at the end of 2016. I was already, holding on to a good chunk of Bitcoin, started expanding out into altcoins. And again, me coming into the space, having zero financial background, being horrible with Bitcoin taught me to be good with my money. I
Yeah.
was horrible with my money. I didn't understand money, the value of it, the importance of it. Didn't understand any of this stuff. Bitcoin's rabbit hole educated me so much. Um, and I was able to get out of crypto financially at the end of 2017. I remember investing into an ICO called Electronium, um, put in 200 bucks, walked away with a few grand, and I was like, this is not normal. Like, this this
Yeah.
is like too good to be true. I had a bit of an aha moment. Bitcoin was right around $20,000 US at that time. And I ended up just kind of liquidating everything I had and moving it into fiat. And God damn it, am I ever happy I had that gut feeling to do that, because we all know how 2018 ended up, right? So,
Yeah.
tell me about your 2017, man. Like, you were working with quite a few different, you were doing marketing for a couple different crypto projects, and dive into that a little bit.
Yeah. First, I want to, everyone thinks that all of us OGs that we've never made mistakes in crypto,
Yeah,
and I figure I've made about $250,000 worth of mistakes over the since 2014 with sending crypto to the wrong address or just flubbing it up, man. It's just the nature of the game. So, if
yeah,
those of you who are watching, if you do make mistakes, know that we've all been there. Obviously, when I made the mistakes, the value wasn't that high.
yeah,
It was pennies compared to the 250,000. But I remember my Dart coin changing that over to Dash
yeah,
because Dart coin used to be Dash,
yeah.
and you had to do some process
No,
from the
Dash
Dart
used to
coin
be
wallet.
Darkcoin, you mean?
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I had to transfer. I didn't read the instructions properly, so I
yeah,
just opened a Dash wallet and I tried to send my Dart coin directly to my Dash wallet. Well, they got stuck in the ether, and
uh,
everyone knows what happened. At the time, I think my Dart coin were worth about $3 each, and a year and a half later, they were 1,200.
yeah,
So that was a huge mistake. That was a house worth of crypto that I lost that are forever gone in the ether.
yeah.
In the ether. So there's mistakes like that that all of us have been through. So don't worry if that happens to you. Now, 2017 was a very emotional ride for us. We had just been let go by Steemit. Steemit was our first big project that we were on the social media team, that we ran the social media for, and a lot of fun. We got to see the inner workings, got to work with Dan Larimer and guys like that, and see how a social media platform can be built on crypto. Because I come from the world of social media and precious metals. So I was always a blogger. I was always on Twitter. I was always on Facebook and all these other things and teaching other people and helping other companies and stuff like that. But 2017, there wasn't many people in crypto that had my skill set.
Yeah.
So a lot of folks were coming to me who were launching projects and asked us for our help. And thanks to Steemit was the train that we rode to get us into that position. So we worked with companies like Zencash. We worked with, I'm trying to think of some bigger names that people would know.
Yeah,
Mandala,
Mandela. There was another one. I'm trying to remember what it was.
Ford, which totally tanked.
Yeah,
Arius,
Arius.
Decent.bet,
Hmm.
which was one of my favorite projects ever. We had so much fun. I
Yeah,
like people, I don't like that people call it a big scam, but hey, they're still here and they're still producing, so
yep.
can't be that bad. Halo platform, which is one of my favorite projects. And right now I'm with Epic Cash. So found
Awesome.
our home with Epic
Awesome, man. How was 2018 for you?
Cash. Freaking depressing.
Show me your wrists. I want to see your wrists. Are they still intact?
Yeah, dude. Oh man, I never in my life have I felt so insecure and I don't know,
Unsure of your life decisions, man.
unsure of where I was going in life.
Bro, I think you, me, and thousands of other people felt the same way, man. We were coming off such a fucking high from 2017. You know, we're unstoppable. We're going to take over the world. And then a year-long bear market from 20,000. Yeah. Thank God crypto tanked and none of us could afford a gun.
I still did okay.
Yeah.
I didn't have to go get a job, because we did so well in 2017.
Yeah.
If you check out my video, I made a video in, I think it was December. I was at Latin American Bitcoin Conference. I had just had lunch with Trace Mayer, and I went back to my room and I made a video. And I said to everybody, I said, look, everybody, I'm selling all my Bitcoin right now. Bitcoin that day was 10,000.
Yeah.
And I just, it was 2 weeks before it peaked out. It was that last wave that I was driving up, and I just had that funny feeling. I said to Trace something about how the new futures market could really hurt Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what his opinion was. I know he wouldn't want me to share it anyways.
Yeah.
But I went back to my room anyways. I said, you know what, I'm selling my Bitcoin. So at least I got out of my Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And I took my profits. And people say, oh my God, Randy, you missed another $10,000 move. Dude, I got most of my Bitcoin under $1,000.
Yeah.
So I was okay. I was happy with that. So we just lived off of our profits for all of 2018. We had our child, Maximus. He was born on January 3rd, which is the birth of Bitcoin.
I know, that's so cool, man.
So he's our Bitcoin baby. But really, he's a Ravencoin baby, because that's also the Genesis block official day of Ravencoin.
Love
January
Ravencoin.
3rd, 2018. So we call him our Bitcoin baby.
Yeah, man. I struggled through 2018 as well. I mean, I made enough money in 2017 to start off the year in a pretty good position. And I always found I never was into trading. I always found other ways to earn cryptocurrency in the space. So, yeah. And so I think that's why we connected so well, is like, we weren't trying to be day traders. We weren't trying to make our money in that way. We had alternative ways of doing it. And I started organizing some conferences. I did Ottawa's first all-day cryptocurrency conference, summer of 2018. We had a few hundred people show up to that. We had over 20 sponsors, exhibitors. It was a wicked event. And that helped out financially, pushed me through another few months. And then I decided I was going to do an event in December called Satoshi's Ball, and we did the event. It was awesome, but it was like pulling teeth. I mean, try to imagine organizing an event, reaching out to sponsors, literally in the 12th month of a 12-year bear market, and asking for sponsorship money. Help come set up a booth, come fly out here, and then on top of that, trying to sell tickets and get a community in a city interested in something where the whole narrative over the entire year was Bitcoin is crashing, crypto is crashing, it's going to zero, it's going to die. Doing that event, man, it took the wind out of my sails. The event.
I got you a sponsor though.
You did, man. You were a huge help for that, man. But it definitely just, and also I didn't have a team. It was literally me doing all the work. From reaching out to people, to hiring the DJs, getting the catering, getting the alcohol, hiring servers, hiring bottle girls, printing tickets, designing tickets, selling tickets, putting up flyers. It killed me, man. And I ended up taking a 6-month break at the beginning of 2019, just completely out of crypto. I wasn't posting on Just Learn Crypto. I wasn't in the groups. I wasn't even looking at the fucking price of Bitcoin, man. I did not open Coin Market Cap for about 6 months. And honestly, man, it was the best thing I ever did. I obviously still maintained my network. I still talked to my friends in the space. And I mean, it's hard to avoid crypto when, my entire news feed on all my social media platforms is crypto. So I mean,
Yeah.
I was obviously still, you know, aware of what was going on in the space. I just wasn't engaging in it, right? So
Yeah, I actually left a couple groups. I had a group of 40 OGs that actually left my own group because I couldn't handle the negativity that was
oh my
happening.
god, man, there was so much. It was toxic, man. So 2019 has, you know, been an interesting year. Things are turning around. I've dove back into crypto. You're involved with Epic Cash. I actually just finished doing an interview with Todd Lewis, who is one of the kind of top technical contributors to that project. And you know, Epic Cash is a pretty cool free software project. It's a, you know, a privacy based digital currency. It's cash for the internet. It's epic,
Yeah.
and it's something I've been looking into a lot. And you know, it's cool that you're working with them a bit as well. So I don't want to really have the tone of this video being, you know, just about Epic Cash, but maybe can you do a little Hilarski shill and kind of like, I mean, obviously you know my background, man. I'm not like a super technical guy. Why is Epic Cash such a big deal? Why are you so passionate about it? And like, what makes it different or better than Bitcoin? And let's dive into it a little bit, man. Let's touch on it a bit.
All right. So I've never been a maximalist. I've always considered myself an agnostic when it came to crypto.
Okay.
I always said to myself, you know, I'm whatever crypto wins, I'm going to support it. And I believe that the Mimblewimble coins, the new privacy coins by Mimblewimble that are using the Mimblewimble protocol,
Yep.
are going to be the absolute winners over the next couple of years.
Okay.
Now, Bitcoin can adopt Mimblewimble.
Yep.
All they have to do is it can, you know, just be a side chain.
I heard Litecoin was talking about adopting.
And they're talking about it as well. The difference is they have to gain consensus
Yep.
with their miners and the other people that are developing the project, the
Yeah.
source projects. Well, we launched with Mimblewimble, and even though I like Grin, I like what Grin does. They have infinity to the moon. You know, inflation to the moon.
Yeah.
So you don't want to hold. Grin is going to be a great transactional currency.
Yep.
If you buy Grin, you purchase something, and you get your item, or you sell something and you get your Grin, then you turn it to dollars, you turn it to Bitcoin, or you turn it to Epic Cash. That's what I would use Grin for, transactional.
Yep.
So that's great for them. Another one is Beam. Beam's another Mimblewimble project, very similar, but they do have better. They're a deflationary token, so over time they stop producing as much.
Yep.
Now, Epic Cash, the number one reason why I like it is because of privacy. I don't think it's anybody's fucking business how much money I have,
Yep.
or how many coins I have. And I saw a meme going around today showing the top 5 Bitcoin addresses,
Yep.
and showing how much Bitcoin that each one of them has.
Yep.
Well, you're not going to be able to do that in Epic.
Yeah. Well, I made that meme the other day. That was
yes.
Here are the top holding wallets for Epic Cash, and it was just a blank white sheet.
Blank. Exactly. I learned my lesson. I wrote an article for Private Key magazine.
Okay.
By Aaron Koenig. He's one of the more well-known crypto influencers over in Germany, and I wrote the article about privacy and why I think it's going to have a serious resurgence. Right now, about only 1% of the coin market cap is privacy coins.
Mhm.
But I think you're going to see that creep up. It probably could go to about 10%. And the reason is people like me who just don't think it's anybody's business.
Yep.
When I see Pompiliano, tweet out that, the fact that Bitcoin is transparent is amazing, it's wonderful. I said, no, hell no, that's the weakest point.
Yeah.
Bitcoin. That's the one I don't agree with. I come from the world of gold and silver. I believe that I could buy a chunk of gold, put it in my closet. No one even needs to know it's there. But I might have $10,000 worth of gold in my closet.
Yeah, exactly, man. And I don't think it's anyone's business if me and you want to do a transaction from peer to peer. How much money you're sending me, how much I'm sending you, or what it's for. It's no one's fucking business, man.
No one needs to know. And the only people, I told this to Joe Blackburn of crypto
CCT,
yeah, CCT, Crypto Coin Trader. I told him the other day, I said, I'm tired of people telling me that the best part of Bitcoin is that it's transparent.
Yeah.
The only people that believe in transparency, or that, not believe, but will push transparency, are governments and people who want to have dominion over others. That means have control over others. Mm-hmm. I do not care about how much money you have.
I think the narrative there should be one of blockchain's most cool features is transparency.
Yes. So I want the government to be transparent.
Absolutely.
Everything that we pay for, I think, should be transparent. The food
Absolutely.
chain should be transparent.
Voting should be transparent.
Voting should be transparent. Manufacturing and the
medical records, everything, man.
Well, medical records, I don't know about.
I mean, maybe not transparent for medical records, but accessible in one place and easily accessible worldwide. If you're in another country, I mean, my family doctor has paper medical records from when I was a kid.
Exactly.
What the fuck happens if that dentist office has a flood, or doctor's office has a flood or burns down, right?
Yeah, well, if you have, say, for example, you have a UV key with your private keys on it, and you're in Germany and something happens to you, and all you have to do is plug your UV key into the jack, and they can now access your medical records.
Exactly.
On the blockchain. That I have no problem with. Okay. Yeah, so we're just, I'm a former nurse, so when I talk about, I know how bad it could get.
Yeah, no, I hear you, man. So Epic Cash is cool, man. I'm honestly like learning more, understanding more every day about it, and just getting more excited about it. So it's cool. I'm really grateful that I have you to ask questions to, because you are a bit more technical, technically gifted when it comes to this. And yeah, man.
It's only because I've been doing it for a couple of years longer. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So I'll catch up to you, man.
Exactly.
And I actually just on a personal note, I just wrote my first article, and for a magazine called Money Magazine. Reached out to me here in Canada. So I'm actually going to be published in their paper magazine. It's just a beginner's, Bitcoin for beginners, right? It's a little 1,000-word article. But it's, it was so cool that I've always kind of hesitated when it comes to writing articles. Like, do I have enough knowledge in my head to put it out in an article? And
well, let me tell you, Gary Vaynerchuk, he has this perfect saying. I don't know if you know who Gary Vaynerchuk is.
I've read all his books.
Okay, but I'm a social media guy, so Gary's been a part of my life for years. And he always says, always say yes. If someone says to you, could you write this? Could you do this thing for my website? Could you post this? I always say yes.
Yep.
And I'm not going to go for the scammy ones, but like the other day, Altcoin Magazine asked me, hey, can we put some content up? Sure. What's it called? CoinGecko. CoinGecko has a new blogging part of their platform, and they're asking me to write some stuff for CoinGecko. Yeah, sure. Fuck it.
Sweet, man.
The thing is, you want your content everywhere.
Yeah.
And people will find you, and you'll start seeing the growth happen. It gets crazy. Look at Crypto, our friend Crypto. He started out pretty slow, but when 2017 hit, bam!
You're talking about Omar? You're talking about Omar?
Yeah.
Love Omar. Yeah, he was one of the first people I started following. I had the pleasure of meeting him in the Mediterranean last summer on the blockchain cruise. So what's cool about this magazine that I just wrote for is they're actually in almost 900 Shoppers Drug Marts across Canada and the US. And they're in Indigo and chapters. So man, I'm pretty pumped to actually get my hands on a physical copy of it, with being a published author.
I've never had anything published, man. My wife's had a couple. I've never had any.
Yeah, man, it's cool. I'm honored that I was even, that they even reached out to me about it. And I think it's because of my Just Learn Crypto website, right? I think that's what led them to it. Is my whole premise, obviously, is like that I want to provide grandma-proof crypto education. My grandma doesn't need to know how a blockchain works. She needs to know how to hold her coins, how to store them, how to send them, how to buy them, where to buy them. She needs to know just how to use cryptocurrency as either a means of transaction or as a long-term investment.
Dude, I'll tell you, man. My mom's got her stack, right?
Yeah.
And it was funny. I needed some access to Bitcoin. I think it was about 2 weeks ago, and it was 9 o'clock at night. And I'm like, God, I need 0.25 Bitcoin now.
Yeah.
Right. So I called my mom. I called her on Facebook Messenger. Said, Mom, send me 0.25 Bitcoin. She goes, okay, honey. She's on her phone in her wallet, and she sends me the Bitcoin. It's in my account like within 10 minutes.
That's
and I'm
awesome.
like, this is my mom. She's 67 years old. And she's sending me Bitcoin, and I'm like, this is so fucking cool, bro.
That's awesome. So just so you know, I do brokering as well. So if you ever need coins, feel free to hit me up as well, man.
Sure. I think I hooked you up with a couple people up in Canada as well. I had some friends in Vancouver.
Yeah, keep sending them, bro. So listen, man, I know it's Sunday. You've you're with your kid and your wife. I don't want to take up much more of your time. What someone getting new to crypto right now, someone who just is getting into it right now, what advice do you have for them?
Well, I would always own some Bitcoin.
Hmm.
Um, if you want to, depends on how conservative you are. If you're the whole investing thing, I'm not an investment advisor, but they
Of
always
course.
say that 10% of your portfolio should be in the high risk, right? And I would
Yeah.
consider crypto to be high risk.
Yep.
So I would then break that down in crypto space where only 10% of your crypto should be in the high risk category.
Hmm.
And your other 80 to 90% should be in things like Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So that's just how it flows. And
That's awesome.
just be safe,
Yep.
especially if you're new, be conservative.
Yeah.
Don't be a
That's
shitcoiner like
Well,
me,
that's
man.
yeah.
I'm an absolute shitcoiner.
I was a shitcoiner in 2017 as well, man. I learned my lesson from that too, and that's pretty much
I
on
haven't learned my
par.
lesson.
Well, no, and I haven't either, but I have in how the advice I give to new people, right? I don't encourage new people to come in and become a shitcoiner. I encourage you to get some Bitcoin, understand how to use it, and then move on from that point. So,
Yes,
um,
absolutely. Now, obviously, I work on projects, and projects pay me in their coin.
yep,
So some of them went to zero.
yeah,
6 months
exactly,
worth
right,
of work, absolutely
yeah,
zero for it. So just take it easy
yeah,
and
man,
try to get, if you're going to do like me and do marketing or graphic design for a project, try to get paid up front in
yep,
either Bitcoin or Ethereum
yep,
or any other project or any other coin that is very stable.
yeah,
Because if they're promising you a coin that you're not going to receive for a year, dude, you just 10x your risk because
yeah.
these coins can go to zero.
Absolutely, man. Well, listen, man, thank you so much for coming on the show. Everyone listening to the Just Learn Crypto show, if you guys have questions, you want to reach out to Randy. He's very active all over social media. And also, just a reminder, guys, nothing in these videos is financial advice. This is pure speculation. This is intended just to get you guys thinking a bit more critically about the space, about the technology, about things that I find interesting, that I'm excited about, and things that Randy's excited about. So, take everything with a grain of salt. And, as always, do your own research. But, Randy, thanks again, man. I hope you have a great, what's left of the weekend. Enjoy your time in Panama. I'm here in Canada. It's supposed to snow next week. So just know that I'll secretly be hating you when that
All right.
happens. But yeah, man, enjoy the rest of your weekend. And thanks so much for coming on, man. Take care.
Cheers, bro.